What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the first Final Order Cutoff Speculation and Recommendations video of 2024. And guys, it's kind of a small one because there are no Marvel books on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff. I'm not sure why. Sometimes the big two just take a week off and then the next week we got lots of good stuff to look at. So hopefully that's what's gonna happen next week. We're gonna get a lot of good Marvel books. But guys, let's not waste any more time. I'm gonna go ahead and dive right into today's video with covering our 2 weekly speculation reminders. If you guys have seen this video series before, or you guys are seasoned speculators, guys, there are timestamps down in the description below, and you guys can skip right ahead to Final Order Cutoff. But if you guys are new to speculation or new to this video series, please stick around and hear these 2 reminders. And first up is the most important, especially when we're dealing with speculation. You guys have to do your own research. I'm going to present some information to you guys today, and what I need you to do is go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself. Because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books. Not my money, your money. And the second and final reminder that I have for you guys is that there are delays in comic books. Sometimes a book's release date will get pushed for one reason or another, so that book might show up multiple times on Final Order Cutoff. And guys, that's it. Those are my 2 weekly speculation reminders. So let's go ahead and cover this weekend's Final Order Cutoff Order Deadline dates. If you guys are interested in picking up any of the books that I'm going to talk about in today's video, you guys need to get your pre-orders in by January 7th for your DC Scout and Vault books, and January 8th for your Marvel and all the other indie publishers. Now, one of the biggest reasons why you want to get your pre-orders in by these dates is that you guys normally will get a pretty good discount on these books. It won't be as high as ordering through previews, but you normally save somewhere between 15 and 20%, and that will depend on where you guys are ordering from. Maybe your local LCS, or find a really good shop online. I know Things From Another World has a pretty good discount. Guys, I'll have them linked down in the description below. But guys, do your own research. Find the shop that's gonna give you the best discount, and that's where you guys will want to order your books from. All right, guys, that is this weekend's Final Order Cutoff Order Deadline dates. So let's go ahead and dive into our Final Order Cutoff cover lever picks. Alright guys, after going over all the DC and all the independent titles, I was able to find 6 covers that I think could do well on the secondary market. But guys, do your own research. I am just presenting some information to you guys. You guys make sure you guys do your research so that way you guys can make the best decisions possible for yourself. So guys, first up is Power Girl Uncovered issue number 1. Now this cover right here that you see right now is the cover A. It is done by Pablos Villalobos and it's absolutely fantastic. But we're gonna go over I think 4 total covers for this book. I wanna give you guys a big caveat. This is not a true comic book. These uncovered books are just a collection of amazing covers featuring the character that is on the cover. So there's no real story here, there's no real first appearance, but guys, I gotta show you amazing cover art, because sometimes a book with just amazing cover art can do really well on the secondary market, and this Power Girl right here is a fire. Alright guys, next up is the cover B for this. This is done by Dan Moore, and I really had high hopes for this cover because they kept on showing the sketch version of this, and we kept getting a little better and a little better with each version they would show. But this final version right here, it doesn't look polished. It doesn't look finished. I'm gonna go ahead and show the 1 in 25 for Poison Ivy issue number 1 that he did, and the line work is just cleaner and it just seems more, I don't know, refined. And this seems like it was rushed, especially the hair, like the thick lines around hair, that just looks really weird, but it's Dan Moore and Dan Moore sells. All right guys, next up we have Power Girl Uncovered issue number 1. Now this is the cover D. It's by Joshua Shui. It's a nice white negative space variant. I actually really like it a lot. I already pre-ordered a version of this for myself because I like the cover so much. But guys, that is the last cover for Power Girl Uncovered that I like, that I think could do well in the secondary market. Guys, do your own research. We have 2 covers left. Next up is Trinity Special issue number 1. Now this is the cover B variant and is done by my boy Jorge Jimenez. Now he doesn't know who I am, but I absolutely love this guy's artwork. And this right here is the best cover for that Trinity Special issue number 1. And it's just It's freaking gorgeous. And guys, the final cover lever pick for this week is Spawn issue number 350, a huge milestone issue. Now this is the cover E variant done by Jonathan Gallopon. I want to say that's how it's pronounced, but it is an awesome Spawn cover. It looks like early Spawn, or I should say, like, you know, in the mid like 50s to 100. There was like this look that Spawn had, and to me, this has exactly that look. So while I was editing this video, DC Comics actually added more books to this weekend's Final Order cutoff, and I found 3 more covers that I'm going to add to this cover lever list. And the first one up is Alan Scott Green Lantern issue number 4. Now I like the cover B by Nick Robles. I think it's an absolutely fantastic cover. Now does this truly have really good spec worthy? I'm not really sure, but guys, this cover is too gorgeous not to share with you guys. And after that we have Birds of Prey issue number 6. Now this is the cover D done by Pablos Villalobos, and they're calling this the sweater weather version. Not sure why they're calling it that, but this cover is, you know, absolutely gorgeous. Look at this cover. All the Birds of Prey team is here in their little bikinis or swimsuits in this gorgeous hot tub. This cover is fantastic. Love this cover. And last but not least, we have Poison Ivy issue number 19. Now this is the cover B done by our boy David Nakayama, and it's a really nice cover. And what I like about it is that Poison Ivy has like a 1960s vibe to it. It's not just like completely sexed out. It actually has a really cool vibe, and that's why I'm adding this book to the cover lever list. But guys, that is the last and final book unless DC Comics adds more covers to this list while I'm editing this video. But if not, that is it for this cover lever list. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is the second prints and beyond. This is going to be the biggest section of today's video because they kept on adding more and more second prints and beyond to Final Order cutoff over the last few days, and I'm going to let you guys know right now, make sure you guys are keeping up with the Comic Book Frontier. It's an awesome Facebook group, linked down in the description below. Al is an awesome comic book community member, and he has one of the best Final Order cutoff pages there is, and he will update the list all the way until the Final Order cutoff date. So if they keep adding more second prints, that's where you guys want to go to find out. But guys, this is the latest batch, and I'm going to go ahead and dive right in because there are quite a few books. First up, we have Batman issue number 428. Now this is the Robin Lives issue. Now if you guys remember, this book came out a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and it is the issue that did not get printed when this book was originally printed, because you were able to call in and let them know, did you want Robin to die or Robin to live? And the most votes got that issue printed, and the Robin Lives is the one that did not get printed originally back in, you know, 1980 something. I'll put the original date right here. But guys, this is the Robin Lives issue. It came out a few months ago, and now we're getting a second print. Why do we need a second print? I don't know. But what's even more confusing to me is why do we need a second print B version? That's right, there is a B cover to this as well, and the B is done by Jim Aparo. And yeah, I don't like this cover at all, and I really don't think we need a second print of this book, but guys, that's my own opinion. But if you guys think differently and you think this could do well in the secondary market, have at it. But guys, next up is Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong issue number 3, the second print variant. I could not find the cover for this anywhere, but there is going to be a second print of this book. But guys, moving on, an awesome book, Dwellings issue number 3. This is the second print variant done by Jay Stevens. But guys, moving on to this next one, it is the 5th print that I was able to find. It is for Void Rivals issue number 2, the 5th print done by Janoy Lindsay. And yeah, I don't like this cover at all, but this book is absolutely fantastic. But do we really need 5 printings of it? That I don't know. But guys, next up is Void Rivals issue number 3, the 4th printing, and this is done by Elizabeth Torque. And guys, next up is Void Rivals issue number 4, the 3rd printing. Why are they doing so many printing of all these books? But this cover is done by Falvano, and this cover is actually pretty good. And next up is, guess what? Void Rivals issue number 5, the 3rd printing, also done by Falvano. Now guys, there is, yeah, 4 more books, or actually no, 5 more books. Next up is Conan the Barbarian issue number 6. Now this is the 2nd print variant. It's the black and white variant, and it's done by Jay Lee. I personally like the color version of this more than this black and white, but if you guys want the second print for issue number 6, have at it. Guys, next up is G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero, issue number 302, with the 2nd print variant done by Danny Earls. I actually read this book. I don't really like it at all. I was really excited for G.I. Joe to come back. I'm really enjoying Duke, and I'm really enjoying Transformers, but this G.I. Joe relaunch, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. Are you guys enjoying it? Is it just me? I don't know. Guys, let me know down in the comments below. But guys, next up is House of Slaughter, issue number 20, with the second print variant done by Werther Dell'Edera. And after that, we have Pine and Merrimack, issue number 1, with the second print variant done by Fran Galan. And last but not least, we have Animal Pound, issue number 1, with the second print variant done by Peter Gross. I have not read my copy yet. I have the Ashcan and I have issue number 1, and it's written by Tom King, and it's a 4-issue miniseries, and I'm really excited to read it. But guys, the second print is right there if you guys really, really like this series. All right, guys, those are all the second prints and beyond. Let's go ahead and move over to the 3 books that I found on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that have a little bit of speculation. All right, guys, as we dive into this list, I just want to remind you guys, make sure you guys are doing your own research, because this first book that I'm going to show you right now was on a list previously. I believe it was on last week or the week before, or maybe even the week before that. But I was able to find this book on 2 of the websites that I used to make this list, but not the third. So I'm not 100% confident that this book is officially on Final Order Cutoff, so do your own research. But guys, I am talking about Batman Offworld, issue number 3. This has the possible first appearance of the Thingarian, a bounty hunter. And that cover by David Mankey is absolutely insane, and the 1 in 50 ratio variant is really, really freaking good. But guys, next up is Trinity Special, issue number 1. Now this is the first solo title, not series, title featuring Trinity, the daughter of Wonder Woman, and there are some pretty good covers for this, but again, my favorite is that Jorge Jimenez one. It is so freaking good. And the last book that I was able to find on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that I think might be worthy of speculating on is Spawn, issue number 350. This is a big milestone issue, 350 issues for an independent series. That is just huge, and it's awesome. And some of the previous big milestone issues have done well on the secondary market. I sold the 100 and the 150 a little while ago for a pretty good chunk, so that's why I think this one right here could do well in the future. You're definitely gonna have to hold on to this one for a little while before you can get a nice return on it, but that is why I added this book to the list. Now, just like the cover lover picks, DC Comics added another book that had a little bit of speculation, or I should say has a little bit of speculation, and that is Poison Ivy, issue number 19. Now, this has the origin of Poison Ivy, but I just did a little research, and this is the second telling of the origin of Poison Ivy, because the original was in World's Finest Comics, issue number 252, back in 1978. So this is a new telling, not the true origin, but just, I guess, the new origin of the current Poison Ivy. All right, guys, that is the last and final book that has a little bit of speculation. Let's go ahead and find out what my spec picks of the week are. Guys, it is super easy for me to pick my spec pick of the week, and it is to save our money. That's right, guys. There aren't any big, juicy books on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that I think we can make a quick return on, or really any good long-term investment books either. But if you guys have money burning in your pocket, and if you don't spend it, you're gonna lose it, go after Spawn 350, because it's a big milestone book, and I can see maybe 10, 15, 20 years down the line being able to get a good return on that investment. But other than that, I don't feel strongly in any of these books. If you guys feel differently, let me know down in the comments below. If there's a book I missed, guys, let me know down in the comments below, because guys, I'm human, sometimes I miss things. But guys, that is it for my spec pick of the week. Let's go ahead and move over, not to our new comic book day cover lever picks for next week, even though I did find some pretty good covers that I think could do well on the secondary market on next week's new comic book day, but I'm gonna put that at the end. Next up, it's gonna be our Final Order Cutoff recommendations to read, and I found a pretty cool book. So guys, let's go ahead and dive into that right now. There has been this trend over the last few years where artists, musicians, actors try their hand in comics, and this weekend's Final Order Cutoff, there is one book where a pretty popular musician is trying their hand in comics, and that musician is Kid Cudi, and I'm talking about the book Moon Man, issue number 1. Now, he does have a co-writer on this book of Kyle Higgins. Now, Kyle Higgins wrote Radiant Black, which is doing really well on Image Comics, and they have been teamed up with a pretty cool artist of Marco Locati. I want to say that's how it's pronounced, but guys, the synopsis for this book actually sounds really cool, so let me go ahead and read that to you guys now. Superstar musician Kid Cudi makes his comics debut alongside Eisner Award-nominated co-writer Kyle Higgins and breakout artist Marco Locati in this extra-length first issue of the biggest book of 2024. That is a pretty big statement right there. Roman is ready for a quiet life. Whatever went wrong on that failed moon mission, whatever happened in the missing minutes the cameras didn't capture, All he really wants is to settle down back home. But those missing minutes hold an earth-shattering secret, and with all eyes turned on him, Roman will soon find himself becoming something the world has never seen before. What is he going to turn into? Is he going to turn into an alien, a monster, or maybe just a superstar? I don't know, but it sounds really cool. And guys, some of the covers for this book are just so cool to look at. But guys, that is my one book that I was able to find on this weekend's Final Order Cutoff that I think you guys should really consider picking up to read. Because A, Kyle Higgins is a pretty good writer, and it also has Kid Cudi writing with him, which is pretty cool, and the art looks fantastic. But let's go ahead and move over to the final section of today's video, which is next week's New Comic Book Day cover lover picks that I think might be worthy of a little speculation. Alright guys, there are 5 covers on next week's New Comic Book Day that I think could do well on the secondary market, and they're almost all 1/100s because those tend to sell pretty well on the secondary market. I don't know why everyone loves these Virgin variants, but guys, they do, and they are selling. So guys, first up we have Wolverine issue number 41. This is the 1/100 ratio variant done by Greg Capullo. Now, there are 3 1/100s for this title. Now, I'm not sure if League of Comic Geeks has that, information incorrectly. Make sure you guys are doing your own research. But guys, the next one is for Wolverine issue number 41, the 1/100 ratio variant done by Clayton Crane. And there's also the 1/100 ratio variant done by Linnell Francis Yu. Now, I gotta tell you guys, the Greg Capullo is pretty good. The Clayton Crane just looks like, an homage to something he's done in the past. But that Linnell Francis Yu, where it's half Sabretooth, half Wolverine, is really freaking cool. But guys, next up we have Rise of the Powers of X issue number 1 featuring Jean Grey, and this is an awesome variant cover done by Scotty Young. Guys, I usually show you all the Scotty Young covers, and this one right here is actually really cool. It's got Jean Grey. She's such a popular character. But guys, this next cover is the best cover that I've seen so far in 2024. This is obviously the first Final Order cutoff of 2024, but this could be up there for the best cover of 2024 coming from Marvel Comics, because they really don't have crazy amazing covers, and this one is gorgeous. Guys, this is Rise of the Powers of X issue number 1, the 1/100 ratio variant done by Alexander Lozano. How amazing is this cover? I keep looking down because I keep looking at this cover. You got Mystique. She looks freaking incredible, and she's breaking out Wolverine's claws, which is so freaking cool. But she looks like just, I don't know, there's so much energy and emotion captured in that pose, and the artwork is fantastic. And I gotta tell you, she looks pretty sexy. But yeah, Gambit behind her doing some awesome Gambit shit. It is so good. Now, there is an open order version of this with the trade dress on it, which is also absolutely gorgeous. I'm picking up a couple of those for myself because honestly, I don't want to spend the money on the 1/100. But if you guys have the cheddar, I would go after this book. Now, this is a book I think is worthy of spending your money on. But guys, let me know down in the comments below if you think I'm absolutely insane for suggesting that. But to me, that is the best book on this video this week. All right, guys, that is it for this week's Final Order Cutoff Speculation and Recommendations video. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. What a way to start 2024. And if you guys are sticking around to this point in the video right now, I gotta let you guys know, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. Now guys, look down real quick. If you guys have not hit that like button just yet, do me a favor, smash that like button. And last but not least, guys, if you guys watch that video and you guys enjoy comic book content and you guys are not subscribed, I just gotta say, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. Next week I plan to have 3 videos for you, so make sure you guys are staying tuned to the channel. And then you guys have a fantastic weekend, a fantastic Final Order cutoff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.